Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Blue Lotus Vibes by Janita McLean, and I'm going to work on resin chess pieces once again, but I have a few different techniques I'm going to try, and hopefully they will work. So let me gather everything up and we will get started. Okay, we have everything that we will need. We have our chess pieces. I'm going to use a regular straw to just take and stir the resin in this big cup. I have part B of my resin. I have part A of my resin. I have a little small little dabber that I'm going to use just in case I need to use alcohol. And I have Q-tips on the side. Have paper towels just in case I need them. I have little cups that I'm going to put it in. I also have my mica powder for my blue. Of course, I have my gloves. And I'm going to show you what I did so that maybe I can have a easy release. So before I put the gloves on, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. In this cup right here, I have regular powder. And what I'm going to do, no flavored smelling or no scent, nothing like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically put it in here. I'm going to take and move it around. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to more or less like coat it. Like if you were going to fry something and you take and you coat it real good. So I'm just coating the inside of this. And basically I'm taking and I'm moving it around. And as I move this around, making sure y'all can see, I'm just moving it around. And I'm going to take and bring it back out. So basically I'm just moving it around all the way completely in there. And I'm going to tap it out. Once I tap that out, the whole inside of it is coated with powder. So I did that already for each one of these. I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to mix the actual resin, put a little bit of the mica powder in a cup, and then we're going to start the pouring. Okay, I'm ready. I have my gloves on. I have my little cup that I'm going to measure with. We're going to do B first of my resin. And we're going to pour that in here, and then I'm going to pour it in this big cup. So let's take and do that first. Making sure that I keep it leveled. And we're going to pour that like that, up to the line. Close that up and move that out of the way so we'll have room on our table. And I'm going to pour that in here. Now remember I told you I'm going to use a straw, regular straw. I'm going to take and put that in the cup. Making sure I get out everything out of there. Okay, I'm going to set that to the side. Going to put our cup back down. Remember, I'm going right here to the line, so everything will be equaled out. And now I'm using part A. This is part A of my resin. You want to make sure your surface is leveled. We're going to go in again. And the A is thicker than the B. So you want to make sure you take your time and pour this so it will be right at the level. But they have to be equaled out. And this ratio is 1 part, 1 part. Some of them there be one part 2, but this one is 1 part 1. And once again, I'm going to take my cup and I'm just going to pour in, making sure I pour it all in there with the B. Like I said, the A is a whole lot thicker and stickier. So you want to make sure you take something to scrape it with. I thought the straw would be a better thing for me to mix with. So I'm just going to make sure everything goes in there. And I'm not going to bore y'all and show y'all me mixing it because it does take a while. I'm going to mix this up real good. Once I mix this up real good, I'm going to get my tray that I have that's sitting to the side so that I can go ahead and be able to let the pieces sit on that tray. And then later on, I will be able to move that tray and know that they will be okay and safe because it is a leveled out surface. So I poured all of that in there. Now I'm going to move this cup over here out the way, out to the side. I'm going to start. Okay, I have stirred. I did have, like I was saying, I did use a plastic straw. That straw wasn't working out, y'all. I wind up getting one of my dowels. I forgot I had those over here on my card. Duh. But anyway, what I did was I went in for 20 minutes and stirred like I was stirring mix up for a cake. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in this cup. We're going to put our mica powder in. And then we're going to start putting them in these pieces. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to squirt just a little bit of this. This is just 90% alcohol, y'all. I'm just going to give it a couple of squirts. I'm going to stir this again because I'm basically trying to make sure that I don't have a lot of bubbles that might hinder and keep everything from congealing. Y'all know that's my word. So we're going to pour in here. I'm not going to pour too much. I'm going to pour a nice amount. I'm going to use my dowel. Okay. I'm going to sit that off to the side, out the way. And now we're going to put just a little bit of our mica powder in here. Because we want the blue to be nice and vibrant. But we don't want to overdo it and it be too much. I'm just going to dash a little bit. Take and mix and see if that is enough. And if it is enough, we're going to go with that. Just want to mix this up real good. And I think I'm okay with that color because that is the blue that we did actually use. But we don't want to make a mess. So let's go ahead and take and close that back and move that to the side. Now we're going to take our time. Let me make sure my board is completely level. We don't want to have no uh-ohs. So we're going to make sure our board. And this is an old, like, breakfast little stand that I have. You want to have breakfast in bed. So that's basically what I thought would be very good for this and may keep it actually really leveled. I'm going to take these big gloves off now that I have done my mixing and get them out the way. I have my other pair already on. And we're going to start pouring. I'm going to always make sure you have some type of napkins, wet wipes, or something on hand. I'm going to simply take and do like this. Have my other piece of paper towel ready for that. And I'm just going to simply move that out the way. Now, I'm going to take and wipe that off because we don't want to begin with a mess. And we're going to just take our time and pour all of them in. I'm going to move those out the way. Now, I'm going to take and pour in. Uh-oh, I got y'all blocked. Okay, now, I'm going to take and simply pour in. Remember how I did the ones before? If you have not seen that video, go back and see it. But I poured to a certain level, and then at the top part, which when you flip this over will be the bottom part, I wanted to make sure that I had room so that I could have like a glitter white bottom that will, for the blue, will be blue glitter at the bottom, and then for the top, it will be all blue by itself. I'm going to take and pinch that together, and then I'm going to go in here. Take my time and pour. I'm going to take and smash this a little bit because I want to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. Because if you have bubbles, it creates a little bit of the cracking at the bottom, and it will not be whole like you want it to. So I'm going to pop this around a little bit, and I'm just going to make sure I squeeze it and look in the light also to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. Now, I'm not completely at the line, if you can see that through here. I'm not completely at the line, so I'm going to pour a little bit more. Now, I am at the line, and I'm going to simply move that out the way. I'm going to take my time and make sure I do all of these, and I will come back and show y'all. Well, I'll show you a few more, and then I don't want to bore you with this because we have so many other pieces to go. I'm just going to simply go in here. This cup right here is the one that I started with the powder, so I'm just tapping this again to make sure that the powder is completely out of there. And we're just going to pour. Take my time. Don't want to go too far up. Take and tap it. Take and squeeze it. Make sure that my color is completely all the way around, and it's not, so I'm just going to take and squeeze it a little bit more because I don't want any bubbles, but I want it to be completely all the way around. So I'm just squeezing it so that I can make sure that my color is completely around. And now I don't see any bubbles or anything, then I know that I am completely colored all the way around. Looks like it's a little bit in this corner, so I'm just going to give it a squeeze. Make sure it goes completely in. I might see a bubble here and there. Just going to take and go in here with my alcohol. Not too much. And I'm just going to look around to make sure it's completely in there. Okay, it is now. We're going to just take and go in just a little bit, not too much, to make sure that my resin is to the line. And then take and wipe my cup off. And we're going to go on to the next one. I'll show you a few, and then the rest I'm going to do off camera. It's kind of sticky, y'all. My hand almost slipped and got powder everywhere. Just tap in. Move my powder cup out the way. Going to go in again. And they made this very convenient because at the bottom of here, you see these little pieces. Those are your stand-up pieces. So when you do pour your molds for each one of these chest pieces, This is kind of like a little stand to keep them from knocking over. You just have to be careful and make sure that you put it in a leveled area. And now I'm about to make a mess trying to tell y'all. I'm going to go in here and wipe off a little bit. I do have alcohol on this. And I'm just going to take it and make sure I squeeze again. Make sure I pull it up to the light a little bit so that I can make sure that it goes completely all the way around. Gonna check my alcohol again, making sure I'm dispersing any bubbles that I might see as I'm squeezing. And now if you can see this, you will see that it is completely all the way around. Trying to move my hand out the way so y'all can see all the way around. Now I'm going to take my time because I need to focus on this, and then when I come back I will show you all of it that I have poured. So this is what we looking like. We are poured. Fingers crossed this time, y'all. We are poured. We got all 32 pieces. That's 16 for each side. And all of the extra resin that I had left over, we have it in our bookmarkers, as well as my 2 little badge pieces that I'm going to do. I just put a little glitter in them, and I went on and added that in. But that's it for now, y'all. Peace.